Hello and welcome back to RedditRead, a channel where we read Reddit stories and talk about them a little bit. No AI voices here, I read all the stories myself. And today's theme is all about the worst vacations. Vacations from hell. We've all been on vacation before. We've probably all had bad vacations. We're gonna look at those today. I'm once again joined by my best friend Kerrigan. Have you ever been on a bad vacation before?
Yeah. One that turned sour very quickly.
Oh.
Yeah,
we all have. So we're going to judge some other people's bad vacations today. Before we get started, I have to remind you guys to subscribe and hit that like button below. Also, we're on Spotify now. There's a link for that in the description if you want to check it out there. Thank you. But without any further ado, let's get into our first story, which comes from Am I the Asshole? Title reads, Am I the asshole for staying in a hotel while my friend was trapped overnight inside the airport?
Sounds like something you would do.
What?
That sounds like something you would do.
Okay, well, let's read it and find out, okay? My best friend and I, 20-year-old woman, recently went on a trip to the UK. I actually have a UK passport since my dad is British, but my friend had to get a UK visa. We were supposed to take 2 flights, one that would arrive in France and a connecting flight that would fly to the UK. However, the second flight ended up being canceled. The next available flight wasn't until about 2 p.m. the next day, so we would have to wait around 17 hours. The passengers were allowed to stay in nearby hotels for free. However, this didn't apply to people like my friend, who wasn't legally allowed to leave the airport because she didn't have a visa for Europe. Instead, she had to stay within a specific area of the airport that had these bright ceiling lights that would stay on 24/7. There was construction nearby, so there was this extremely loud drilling noise every so often. All the available seats were taken by other passengers, so my friend had to sleep on the floor. Plus, earlier that day, water got spilled on our phone chargers and her phone was only on 40%. I had the option to stay with her, but I chose to go to the hotel instead. She was furious with me, accusing me of being a fake friend. She told me she was scared of being alone in a creepy unknown place and wanted me there to comfort her, and I assured her that I'll be back by the morning. She said I was acting selfish for not even spending one night with her, but I hadn't gotten any sleep in over 24 hours, and I didn't see why both of us had to suffer. Am I the asshole? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so. That, you know, part of me is like, that's hard, but the friend is right. You're leaving her alone in a country that she legally cannot be in, technically. Like, she has to be in a specific area, but you have free range.
Yeah.
So it's like, you are kind of lame for doing that to her.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if the friend was okay with her, like, leaving her there, then it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But specifically because she was like, no, like, don't leave me, like, I'm in a place I don't know and I'm, like, scared, and she just left anyways.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be back in the morning.
Yeah. She's like,
see you later.
Yeah, that's okay, but, like, you'll be fine. So, like...
You're in an airport. What could happen?
So, like, I could, like, it would be okay if she did this if the friend was okay with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But she wasn't.
Yeah, no, the
So
friend
it
was,
was-
asking her to stay because she was scared. I'd be scared too, though. I'd be like, they won't let me leave this area, and I have to sleep on the floor with all these random people, and my phone's at 40%, and I don't have a charger.
Yeah,
That is a bogus situation.
I think I would probably... Okay, so you said that this is something I would do. So can you explain that now that we've read it?
Yeah, I said that. Well, I didn't know the context, right? But I can totally see you being like, yeah, I'm going to get a hotel room for myself. I'll see y'all later.
Okay, well, I would want to.
I know.
I wouldn't.
Well, obviously, with the context, I don't think you would. But I feel like in any other circumstance, you would be like, yeah, you guys can sleep here. I'm getting a hotel.
No, well, listen, if you guys were okay with that.
I think you would let us into the hotel, though. But I feel like you would just...
Well, you
would just wander off. Well, like, not if we're in a situation like this. I'm just saying if we were, like, in America, we're stuck at an airport, and you just... I can just picture you wandering off and getting a hotel.
Well, if we... Okay,
So-
if we were in a place where we could leave the airport...
Yeah.
That, well, I don't know. Wait, this actually doesn't make sense because that's a completely different situation because one of us is not trapped in the airport.
I can picture you getting, picture we're in a group, right? And you're annoyed with us. I can picture you wandering off, getting a hotel and not telling us.
Oh,
Until
okay,
you
yeah, I
get
would
there.
totally do that.
Yeah, exactly. We would be like, where's Julian? We'd be texting you and you'd be like, I got a hotel.
Okay, yeah, I probably would do that. But
And we'd all be like, what the hell?
if I was like annoyed or whatever, but
Yeah, you
I
would be
wouldn't just.
cranky, annoyed. I feel like you would probably invite the person not annoying you as much. So,
Okay, you're probably right, but
like I said, if I was in a big group of people, like if we went with like 10 other people on a trip and we were all cranky, upset, flights are canceled, we're all just upset, annoyed at each other, no sleep. I can, if I heard that you wandered off and got a hotel room by yourself and didn't tell anyone, I would not be surprised. Would I be mad at you? No, because it's just
well,
Julian
in
behavior.
a group that big.
But it's also like, that's just your behavior. I'd be like, that, you know, that's a valid point that he did that. I am jealous of him, leaving all of us to argue over all the choices.
In a group of 10 people, that's different than what's going on here.
I know, but that's like, that was the first thing that popped into my head, that you would just do that. You would wander off and do it yourself because you'd be sick and tired of all of us trying to argue over our canceled flights and stuff.
That is true. I do get sick and tired of people kind of easily. So.
Yeah, and especially in a stressful situation like that. 10 people, flights canceled.
Yeah, because like, I mean, trips are stressful. I mean, like, they're fun, but they can also be stressful if something doesn't go
like when we were in Denver.
What happened when we were there?
Our flight got delayed, and they moved us to a different gate. And then someone passed out waiting in line.
They did? Okay, so let's see. Did OP have a responsibility to remain with her travel companion, travel buddy, you think?
Yeah. Well, okay, so we need more context, because if it was the friend's first time ever leaving the country, right? First time ever doing international traveling, you're definitely the asshole. Because if you have a passport to Europe already, right? Like OP said, her dad is...
Wait, I'm not understanding this completely, because she says she has a UK passport. So are they in the UK or are they somewhere else?
No, they said that they landed in France and they were supposed to take a connecting flight to the UK, but that flight was canceled. So they're in France.
They're in France. Okay.
Yeah, but since OP has a European passport, she can leave the airport. So that just makes me believe, and this is assuming, that this isn't OP's first time internationally traveling. So they're familiar with traveling. So if it's the first time her friends ever left the country, right? And you left her in an airport when she says, I'm scared, her phone's about to die and she doesn't have a charger and she has to sleep on the floor. Yeah, you did have a responsibility to stay with her.
Yeah.
It's like a tour guide. If a tour guide just leaves you behind, what the fuck? Like, you're my tour guide. You're supposed to tour me around. You're supposed to be my guide.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know if it's their first time leaving the country.
Yeah.
But I'm still confused because they're in France.
Yeah.
And they're going to the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're going on a trip to the UK.
Yeah.
So they're not from the UK.
No.
But her dad is from.
Yes. So she has a passport, which is why I was assuming that she's already internationally traveled.
Wait,
because if her dad's from the UK, he most likely has gone back to the UK to see family, and she's most likely come with him. So she's familiar with traveling.
Okay, this still doesn't make sense to me though, because a UK passport is not the same as a European passport.
Well, according to her story,
because of Brexit and all that. Wait, how long ago is this? This is only a year ago, so that's after that. So this still doesn't make sense to me. And it also doesn't make sense to me why she can't leave the airport. Like, where is her friend's passport from that she can't leave the... No.
Well, her friend applied for a visa to the UK, to travel to the UK. So I'm guessing she just has an American passport.
So we think they're American.
God, I'm such a fucking American for assuming that, aren't I?
Because I'm kind of lost here, because I don't know why she wouldn't be able to leave the airport.
Well, how long was their flight?
If she has like a US pass, because like if I fly to France with my US passport, they just ask you, like, why are you here? And you'd be like, oh, I'm on vacation here. For how long? A week. They're like, okay, Go on your way.
Yeah.
So I don't get why she can't leave the airport. Okay, so the friend must not have a passport where she can be in Europe, because every time I've left the country, I had to leave the airport. So, and I didn't have a visa to any of the places I was going. So I'm like, why can't she just leave? You know what? That's actually probably so American of me to just be like, why can't she just leave the airport? Why won't they let her into the country?
You know what I think? I feel like I'd get so nervous being questioned by immigration. I think I'd just fail.
It's not like a pass fail.
I think they would be like, "Why are you here?" And I'd be like, "Vacation." And they're like, "Where are you going?" I'd be like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
Send me back. Just send me back.
Yeah. Anyways, I think it's fair to say that she's the asshole.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Moving on. Next story.
We need to, or we're gonna fall deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole.
Anyways, on to our next story, which comes from Best of Redditor Updates, originally posted on Am I the Asshole? And the title reads, Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my girlfriend's plane ticket after she decided to stay longer on her trip without me?
I feel like I've heard this story before.
I might have also heard this one.
I feel like this one's...
Okay, so the story reads, throwaway because she knows my Reddit. So here's the deal. My 28-year-old guy's girlfriend, 27-year-old woman of 2 years, and I planned a 2-week vacation to Italy. I paid for the flights, hotels, everything, because I make more than she does, and I wanted it to be a stress-free trip for both of us. Everything was great until the last day when she tells me she wants to stay longer to find herself and think about our relationship without me. She didn't discuss this with me beforehand, and it completely blindsided me. I was hurt and told her that if she feels she needs time alone, then she should also be independent financially during this extension of her trip. I said I wouldn't be paying for her new return ticket whenever she decides to come back. Now she's upset, calling me unsupportive and selfish. And some of our friends are saying I'm being an asshole because I left her stranded in a foreign country without financial help. So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to pay for her new plane ticket home after she chose to extend her trip without any heads up? That's the first post, the original post.
Obviously, he's not the asshole. Okay, if that's such a crazy ask, boyfriend, I want to extend my trip to find myself and think of a relationship that you're not in. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I want to think about what it's like
she
to be
didn't say
alone.
that. She said she said she just wanted to find herself.
No, read
Oh,
it.
yeah. And think about our relationship without me.
Yeah, so
she just wants to think about their relationship.
Yeah, with a relationship where he's not there. So she just wants to be alone. She wants to be single.
Yeah, well, no, she just wants to think about it by herself.
You know what she's gonna do? She found some Italian twink she wants to
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, here's what she means by find herself.
Yeah, exactly.
She met somebody there and she wants to stay with whoever that is.
She wants to test it out and see what a relationship would be like without her boyfriend. She wants to test a new relationship. And the audacity to be like, I'm extending the trip for myself. I'm not inviting you. Can you still pay for it?
Yeah, she's basically
Like,
saying,
what?
can you pay for... Hey, like, can you pay for me to cheat on you, please?
Yeah. Even if she didn't say she was seeing a guy, or the OP had no clue that she may have saw some guy she thought was hot. That's basically like she's saying, if I told someone that I need time to think alone about possibly not being in a relationship with them, that's basically going on a break, okay? That's basically like, I need a break. Like, that's the start of a breakup.
And like, to ask for a break or whatever, that's fine.
Yeah,
but she doesn't need to be in Italy
Yeah,
to do
exactly.
that.
You don't need to be in Italy.
It's like, go home and break up then.
Yeah, go home and be like, after that trip, I feel like we need a break. So he is not the asshole for leaving her ass there. And those friends.
What friends?
The friends who were like, you're the asshole for leaving her stranded. He did not leave her stranded. He said, I'm not paying for you to be on your little self-enjoyment trip.
Yeah, the friends did say that, which is, why is it always in these Reddit stories that the friends or the family are clearly just agreeing with the asshole?
Yeah.
Would
you ever agree with like me if I left my boyfriend in another country because he said he wanted a break to find himself?
No.
Exactly. You would side with me. You'd be like, what the fuck is he on about?
Yeah.
You'd be like, dump his ass.
I mean, maybe they're just like trying to defend their friend, but I mean, like, if you're a real friend to them, you should tell them when they're being dumb.
Exactly. Exactly.
That just from that post, he was voted not the asshole, obviously. But then there's an update from the next day, actually. So he says, thank you to all the people who responded, especially the early ones who gave some outside verification of me probably not being the asshole. I don't feel comfortable saying I'm completely blameless here because you're only getting one side of the story, and I need to take responsibility for my part in this whole thing, such as it is. But I guess I never realized how good my girlfriend was at making me feel like unreasonable shit was normal and rational, and that I was the crazy one. So here's the update. We're both back in America now, and she's packing her shit to go and stay with her family for a bit until she can find a new place. Soon after I posted, it was time to go to the airport, so I did, without her. I'm one of those people who arrives really early because I never think I'll get to the gate in time because everything that could go wrong probably will go wrong. It never does, but especially with how my luck's been going, I didn't want to push it. I was there for about an hour by myself, mulling things over and talking to my mom. I looked at a couple responses to this post, but I didn't trust that I wouldn't lose it if I started responding, and I definitely didn't want to burst into tears while I was in the airport. As I was talking to my mom, my girlfriend showed up. I guess she thought I was bluffing, but had a rude awakening when the hotel staff kicked her out of the room because I'd only paid through that day. I took no small amount of satisfaction in this, not gonna lie. She'd been so concerned about the plane ticket that she didn't even stop to think about where she was going to stay. As many of you guessed, she met someone while we were in Italy. She was quick to tell me it was just a physical attraction and that they hadn't done anything, but she has his ad and was wanting to see if it'd go anywhere. I guess that's what I get for not feeling well and wanting to stay in one night while she went out to explore. Obviously, I told her things were over between us, even though she tried to make it sound like nothing had happened. The fact was, A, I couldn't feel like I could trust her when she had that, and B, I don't really want to be with someone who feels like it's okay to still keep her options open when she's been in a monogamous relationship for the past 2 years. The flight home was awkward as fuck, and she really tried hard to give another pitch for why we should stay together on the drive home from the airport. I think as we got closer to home, reality started setting in and she realized she'd just thrown a lot away. So yeah, I'm jet lagged and physically and emotionally exhausted. I'm just kind of numb at this point. Finally, I didn't see all the comments as there were 2,500 at the time of this update, but to the few of you that were downvoted into oblivion who said this was fake because I hadn't updated in several hours, you. I was looking for reasonable dissenting opinions that might have helped me make sense of the situation, and you're accusing me of making this up for some random internet points. Believe it or not, my priority was not to tell a bunch of strangers on the internet how my world was falling apart around me. I know it's easy to think that these people aren't real and their struggles are meaningless because screens divide us, but ironically, you're the assholes.
Bro, good call out there.
Yeah, call out those Redditors.
Yeah. Because people do, okay, we'll get to the story, but people do that. They're like, they haven't posted in an hour. They're lying. It's fake.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that about anything on the internet.
Yeah, but it's also like people have a life. They're not you who sit online all day.
Yeah, they're not like sitting at their computer pressing F5 on r/am I the asshole refresh all day.
Yeah. What are these good juicy stories? Like, this one's fake.
I say as we sit here and read off of Am I the Asshole?
But here's the thing. We're not sitting there refreshing the page going, oh yeah, where's the juice at?
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, into the okay. Into
Definitely called it.
Yeah. Because why else would she want to stay there?
Exactly. Also, she's a dumbass. I want to extend my vacation. Makes no plans to extend it.
Well, she clearly just thought that he was going to do this without question.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that some type of similar thing has happened before in the past and he just like caved and did it for her. That she thought that she could just say this to him and it would like, of course he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And she was like shocked that she got kicked out of the hotel room,
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like from what he said at the beginning that she's been like making him feel like he's always in the wrong for everything. So she's like gaslighting him and
sounds like it was
a
toxic relationship to begin with.
Yeah, which if she's willing to like, go and meet people in another country when she's already in like a long term, like they've been together for like 2 years and just be like, oh, well, I just want to keep my options open.
Yeah, I saw this really hot guy and I got his ad and I wanted to see if maybe something could blossom. Girl, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, the first part of that's understandable, but doing that while being in a relationship.
Yes. Yeah. If you're in a relationship and you're on vacation with the dude and you're like, this guy's hot. I want to extend my vacation and see if we can maybe be a thing.
Yeah, unless
That's crazy. And my boyfriend's going to pay for it.
it's just crazy. I mean, unless they're in an open relationship, which they're not, but
Mm-hmm. Open relationship, let the dude also hit the Italian man, you know?
oh yeah, if it was an open relationship, then she should have been like, she just came back from the hotel that night
Yeah.
that he was sick and been like, hey, I met this great guy down at the bar. I asked him if he wanted to have a threesome tomorrow, and he said, yeah.
Yeah, swingers party, guys. Get the pineapples.
Okay, so I also feel bad for this guy because he's kind of like blaming himself because he says, I guess that's what I get for not feeling well and wanting to stay in one night while she went out. But like, it's not his fault
Not at all.
because he was sick for staying in. This probably would have happened either way, whether he was sick or not. And it's not his fault at all because I feel bad for the guy, not only because like his girlfriend's a piece of shit, but also because he's like partly blaming himself for this. I think he also said somewhere else, he's like, oh, I know I'm not, he's like, you're only hearing it from my point of view. So, I mean, like, this guy seems really intelligent. Like, he's acknowledging that we're only seeing it from his point of view or whatever. And he said that he like purposefully didn't post again right away because he wanted to see if anyone commented that didn't agree with him.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just posting to try and get everyone to agree with him. Like, he actually wants people's advice. Like, hey, am I the asshole for this? Because so many people post on this and they just want everybody to agree with them, and then they get mad if that doesn't happen or whatever. But this guy, look, this girl sucks. We know this girl sucks. They're broken up. Whatever. This guy's set up to find a good one. He'll be fine.
Yeah. He dodged a bullet.
Yeah. He deserves someone better than this. He's gonna be fine. This other girl, she can die, I guess. But like,
yeah. Yeah, go ahead and die.
And also, like, okay, so they're sitting together on this flight, this international flight. So this is like a long ass flight.
Yeah.
And I'm just picturing her like once every hour being like, so listen, I think we can still make it work. And I hope he's just like,
headphones
like,
in.
Hey, I got my AirPod. Can't hear you.
Because imagine being seated next to that couple though, behind them, in front of them.
Yeah, if they're in like a three row, like three people to a row, so there's somebody else there. Listen, if I would love to be a passenger there and listen to that shit.
So would I.
Listen, because I do this all the time. Like, if I'm on a flight and I hear somebody start talking about something juicy, or somebody starts talking like a little bit loud and I can just hear it through my headphones, I'm like, put that shit in transparency mode. What are we talking about? Like, I am listening in.
Julian, turn around. What happened next? What happened next? Honestly, if I met someone on an airplane and they were like, and I was talking with you and they genuinely were like, what the happened? Like, yo, what kind of tea is this? I feel like I'd spill it to them too.
Yeah, honestly.
I'd be like, all right, sit down, pal. Sit down, random stranger. Are you ready for a story of a lifetime? We're going to start from the beginning.
I'd be like, oh, yeah, let me start over for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so this happened, and
so we've deemed not the asshole for that one. Not at all. Good thing he got out of that relationship.
Literally.
Because if it wouldn't have happened on that trip, it would have happened later, and that just would have been even worse. So anyways, on to our next story, which comes from Am I the Asshole? And the title reads, I went on vacation with my friend and her family, and they kicked me out. I got my own room and stayed. Am I the asshole? I am in college, and my roommate from last year, Meg, whose family is really rich, said she could bring a friend on vacation. It was kind of awkward. I was her third choice, but her family vetoed the first two because they didn't want her bringing a boy or this other female friend of hers they disliked. Her parents bought my plane ticket and booked the resort, which I was very grateful for, and I saved a lot of money up so I could make sure to buy my own food and activities when I'm there and treat her family to a dinner as a thank you for the ticket. But when the trip started, it was just bad. It was her, me, her mother, her father, and two of her father's friends, and her three brothers going. On the flight, they all got first class and got me an economy seat, but I didn't say anything because why argue about a free ticket? The first night, they went to a grocery store. It turns out they wanted to cook at the resort kitchen for the whole trip. And by they wanted to cook, it actually turned out that they wanted me and Meg to cook. I wasn't warned about this, but it turns out Meg's family is so traditional that they see cooking as a woman's job, and her mom had just had hand surgery. So it was me and Meg cooking every meal for 6 men and her mom, and I can't cook well. I know a couple staple meals to feed myself, but since I rarely eat meat, I don't know how to cook it. I'm also okay at cooking for 1 or 2, but have no practice cooking for a group of 9. I screwed it up, undercooked chicken and overcooked some steak, and her dad was angry with me. I got short with him and told him that if he knew how to do it better, he could pitch in instead of standing around criticizing. But he got furious and said that he was on vacation. I said that I was trying to have a vacation too, or did they invite me to be an unpaid domestic servant? Meg's parents and dad's friends got angry. I said that, and they started yelling at me. The argument escalated. I sarcastically called myself the help. Her dad snapped at me and told me to get out of their suite and go home. Didn't say shit about how he expected me to do that. I left and called the airline with my ticket and asked them if they could do anything to prevent anyone else from modifying or canceling my ticket. They let me set a passcode and no changes could be made to the flight without it. Then I went to the resort desk to ask about rooms, saying I was stranded unexpectedly. They actually did have some affordable rooms available because of a weekday discount, so I got housing and still had money left over for touristy stuff. I went sightseeing and relaxed on the beach for 3 days until Meg's parents ran into me. They were taking a sunset walk and did a double take seeing me on the beach. They said that they thought I was going home, and I said I decided to stay. They were angry because they saw me staying and using the return flight as having deceived them into thinking I couldn't afford a vacation and using them for flights when I could actually afford things. Am I the asshole for staying on that vacation and using the flight home?
Hell no, she's not the asshole.
No.
Abuse the rich people.
Yeah, and they kicked her out, and it was like...
Because she couldn't cook. Okay, first of all, you were her third choice of a friend to bring.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm like, so you don't even... Okay, I don't even think she knows Meg that well because she doesn't even know that like her family's like traditional.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so you're her third choice. You don't even know that her family's traditional. I'm like, okay, you guys clearly aren't even that good of friends.
And also, Meg's not a good friend for not warning you, hey, by the way, my family's very traditional. They're going to expect us to do all the cooking on this trip.
Yeah, it's insane that nobody said anything to her beforehand and said like, oh, by the way, they're gonna want us to cook. Do you still want to go?
They arrive like Sunday night. They're like, oh, nice time to relax, and they're like, I want a steak dinner right now. Get to cooking, girls.
They're like, girls, cooking time.
Us boys are gonna have a beer on the beach. Y'all get to cooking.
You know that does sound really nice, but I mean,
You sure you want to say that, Julian?
I'm gonna get canceled. It does sound nice, but
that's only if the person who's with you has agreed and you're paying them, basically.
Listen. Okay, listen.
Nuh-uh. You're not gonna tell me to listen and say something crazy.
No, I'm just saying, if that's what somebody wants to do and they agree on that, then that's fine. It's whatever. It sounds nice. Like I'd want somebody to just cook for me and whatever.
Yeah, but they're not just cooking for you, right? They're cooking.
Oh yeah,
for...
yeah. It's not the same. They're cooking for 9 people.
Yeah,
which is
and
like
6 of them are men who are fully capable of taking care of themselves.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's like okay, and also just cooking for 9 people is like most people don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
that's like something you would hire a chef to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
And these are just 2 people. They're not master star chefs.
You know how long cooking can be? Like, are they cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
They're not going to have
a vacation.
Yeah, they're not going to have a vacation. They're just going to be a cook.
Exactly. They're not going to have time to like enjoy anything.
Which they're kind of like treating her like a servant they're bringing along. They put her in economy.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, okay, listen. If my friend invited me and their parents were rich and they put me economy, yeah, I'd be like, damn. Y'all got first class, but honestly, at the end of the day, I'm going on vacation for free.
Yeah, which is why, and she's not even upset about that. So that's not even like the problem. It's, oh, you're here now? Well, you have to cook for all 9 of us, by the way.
What are you doing sitting there? The kitchen's calling. Go make me a sandwich.
What are you doing outside of the kitchen? You're a woman. What are you doing?
I don't understand men who live in that kind of like household and stuff are the most spoiled, rotten, bratty ass people ever in existence.
It's because they think that they don't know how to do anything, but
Yeah.
they just don't want to do anything.
That or they weaponize it. They're like, oh, I actually don't know how to do my laundry. And if you make them do it, they're gonna fuck it
100%.
up.
Like,
They're gonna purposely mess it up,
Because-
overstuff the washer, let
Yeah.
it seep out everywhere. Like they're gonna do stuff like that. So you're just annoyed at them. Where it's like, fine, it's easier if I do it because if they do it, it's just a big mess.
Yeah, it's weaponized incompetence, and I mean,
Mhm.
like, I've 100% done that so many times before to get my mom to do stuff for me.
Keep that in the video. Keeping that in.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it in the video. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm spoiled. I'm a mama's boy. I have 100% done things like purposefully bad so that my mom will just do them for me. I don't do that anymore, but I used to do that. Not anymore. To be clear, I'm not doing that anymore. So like I kind of understand this mindset that a lot of men are like I just don't know how to cook. Like I get it. I'm not saying it's good because it's not. It's not good.
Mhm.
But I can understand it because I'm kind of the same way. I'm kind of like having somebody to cook for you and like clean and do the laundry sounds really nice. It does. I can't lie.
I mean, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't be mad if someone cooked for me all the time too, but it's like I don't have the money to pay someone and I'm not going to expect my friends or other people to just do it for me, right? Like I'm going to do it if someone offers to like help do something, oh, fine, help me out, but I'm not going to just completely put the burden on them, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like that's just the easiest way to get burnt out, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's like, I'm not going to do that to someone. And it's also like, I don't know, I kind of feel like if I didn't do my own laundry, I'm just a lazy piece of shit. So
Listen, okay, I didn't start doing my own laundry until I was 18 or 19. So listen, so I get being like, oh, I don't know how to do laundry, like I don't know how to cook because I also never used to cook for myself until probably about a year ago, honestly, if I'm being completely honest here. Like I would never cook anything myself and I would just have my mom do it. So I get it. But at some point,
but you understand that it's wrong now.
yeah, because at
right?
some point you got to just grow up and just learn how to be an adult.
Yeah.
Like in all honesty.
Okay, here's my question. When you were making your mom do this, was it because she's your mom or because she's a woman?
Oh, it's because she's my mom.
Okay, so it's different then. It's your mom. I mean, I feel like people sometimes do that. They kind of rely on their mom.
Well, but I feel like it's kind of similar because I feel like a lot of like straight men in relationships, they expect their girlfriend to be like their mom.
But if you got in a relationship with someone, would you expect them to be like your mom?
Well, no, because they're not. Well, maybe.
Oh my God. You know, okay, so here's my comparison. You know, girls who like do a baby voice when they talk to like their boyfriend or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the equivalent to men expecting their wife or girlfriend to act like their mom.
Yeah.
Because they're basically acting like a baby. Like you're a child. You're acting like a child where you need a grown ass woman to do your laundry and wake you up and feed you. Like you are literally bottom of the barrel weak men. Like I hate men who are like, my girlfriend does everything for me. She cooks, she cleans, she wakes me up in the morning, she lets me play my video games. I don't work. You know, like you're not cool alpha, bro. You're literally bottom of the barrel. Like she is more alpha than you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm saying alpha because usually they always call themselves alpha males.
Yeah, they themselves are the only ones that think that they are
Yeah.
alpha for that.
Everyone else around you thinks that you're just a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
Other than other alpha males who are exactly like you. They will sit there and they will tell you that you're cool.
Oh, yeah, man. You got to have those. You got to put them to work, man. I'm
just saying you're not cool. You literally are not doing anything for society. You might as well yourself.
And I'm keeping that in.
There are going to be people out there that are going to be like, see, this is the male loneliness epidemic. Who caused that? You guys did this to yourself.
It's like that meme where she's like, and who set that system up?
Yes. Who set that up? Where were we at?
That she's not the asshole.
The asshole. The men in that family are. The friend's the asshole for taking her along and not telling her that she's gonna cook the whole time. And the mother is also at fault too because she broke her.
But well, I also think it's crazy that she even went along with this at all in the first place, because like she did cook for them for a little bit, but like if I was her, as soon as they told me that, I would have been like, "What the f are you talking about?"
Yeah, I immediately would have been combative.
But she even went along with it for a little bit, probably because like she probably felt like obligated because they paid for her to go there. But it was like she's not obligated to do anything if they didn't agree to it before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's not the asshole. So she's asking if she's the asshole for staying there and still taking the flight back that they paid for.
No, the flight back is compensation for the way they treated her.
Yeah, literally. That's her compensation for cooking for them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I would see it. Also, if this family's so rich.
Yeah, why the f they care anyways?
But also, like, why didn't they hire a private chef?
Well, because this was cheaper, probably.
Probably, but you would think if you're rich, you don't really care. She was smart, though, to make sure she put a password on that flight so they couldn't cancel her ticket.
That was smart. I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't either. But that was genius.
And also, again, like this like the friend that she went with, like Meg or whatever, it doesn't sound like, at least from what we're reading here, she didn't stand up for her at all for anything. And I'm like, what kind of friend is this?
Exactly. Well, she's probably also ingrained in the mindset of she's a woman. Like, it's her job. She probably just kind of like projected that onto OP.
But again, I'm like, how do they not know each other well enough that she would know that about her?
Yeah.
Like, it's
that is
crazy.
the crazy thing.
Like, it's crazy to go on a family trip with somebody that it seems like you barely even know. And they're going on this trip with like the whole family, like the dad's two friends and like two brothers and two sisters or whatever. Like, this is like a whole family, like big family. And then like just some random girl.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You know, it sounds like the reason why they were allowing Meg to bring a friend is because... So, okay, in the beginning of the story, she said she was the third pick. The first pick was a boy, and they didn't want another boy. And the second pick was another girl that they did not like. You know why I think they didn't want the boy to come? Because they wanted another girl to come to cook.
To cook.
So I think that's the only reason that Meg was allowed to bring a friend, is because her mom couldn't help cook. So they needed another person to help Meg cook. So they were like, invite one of your friends and make sure it's a girl. And the second girl, she sucks at cooking. She's not allowed back. So I believe that's what happened there.
Okay, and also, does this say how old they are? No, they're in college. So they're college age. So they're adults. And they're like, you can't bring a boy with you. You're an adult, bro. You can bring whoever the you want. I like... That pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, again, they probably said no because it's a boy and they needed another helping hands in the kitchen.
Well, I was thinking it's because, well, you guys are going to when we're here and we can't have that.
That probably is also in play.
Can't be having the hokey pokey under God's watchful eye before marriage. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. That's probably also a factor of why they didn't let her bring a guy.
Anyways, on to our next story, which comes from Best of Reddit Updates, originally posted on True Off My Chest. The title reads, "My friendship blew up on a trip to Japan. Finding out my friend of 5 years was an absolute asshole when taking her on her first trip to Japan 1 year after I moved back from there. What did she do? Wouldn't add to the itinerary at all, but complained every single day when we got there. I took her to popular stations in Tokyo since it was her first time and we had 7 days. But she wanted to go to the beaches and rise at 5 a.m. and stay out till 2 a.m. like she does in Mexico. Compared everything to Mexico, even wanting to tip a restaurant owner in USD because I do it in Mexico. Wanted to tip everyone and argued the whole time when I told her don't do it. It's rude. And when I got my Japanese friend to educate her on how to give proper thanks, she finds one person online who said it's not required but appreciated and wouldn't stop pressing me about how it's so good to tip. She would ask me how my legs were doing, and I'd answer honestly, like, yeah, they hurt. And she later mocked and betrayed me, saying it made her feel bad I was complaining about my legs. I never said they hurt out of my own accord, nor did I stop what we were doing to ask for breaks. If she asked, I said yeah, but she'd rather I lied. I asked if she was thirsty. Well, we waited for open hours and she said no. So I went to find a coffee shop to grab one real quick. She goes, I don't even want to go there. You should have taken me to a real cafe. Girl, I'm just grabbing me a drink since you said no. Doesn't believe in itineraries, yet hated everywhere I took her. So got her friend back home to look up places for her. She had 6 months to look up anything to add, but she doesn't believe in itineraries. Got mad I didn't order for her when she didn't ask me to help. Said, if we were in Mexico, I would have ordered for you. All she said was she was thinking about getting a bun today. She didn't end up ordering it herself because she didn't want to point to it and ask the cashier. I was standing 10 steps away from her. There was no one in line, and we were the only ones in the store. Not sure why she didn't even attempt to order a bun in the case or ask me to help her. Started saying she should have gone on this trip with friend A or friend B to my face. Said she didn't like the touristy areas, aka Shibuya, Akusaka, Harajuku. I'm sorry if I said any of that wrong. And wanted to go to rural areas where she doesn't even speak Japanese and was relying on me to quite literally hold her hand for everything. She's older than me, but both late 20s, by the way. She said she was going to leave the trip early if we spent a day with my sister at our Japanese friend's house. She wouldn't eat sushi because they have worms in them. Wouldn't go to karaoke because they were listening. Said I made her cry, which she's only ever done at her dad's funeral. Wow. Called dried squid a gag gift she can get her family. Accused me of cutting her luggage and wouldn't take out yen from the ATM, so I did, and she paid me back. Tried to tell me data works fine compared to our pocket Wi-Fi and that we can just leave the Wi-Fi at the hotel when I asked her to hold it for us. I lived in Japan and will not go anywhere without a pocket Wi-Fi. This isn't even the half of it, a whole 7-day nightmare. For the first time in my life, I actually slept through an entire 9-hour plane ride on the way back. Okay, so she put like an edit in here. She said, I totally forgot some more effed up things, like asking, do you have an eating disorder? Or telling me she was going to smack my hand because I had it near my nose as I was choking on so much secondhand smoke, my throat was getting raspy. And trying to convince me it was my fault that I was getting inappropriate stuff happening to me. Example, man chased me down the streets of Ikebukuro wanting to go to a hotel, but it's my fault because I was standing alone at the station. Edit 2. Anyone want to guess what profession she's pursuing? What profession is she pursuing? What would
Okay, it's either gonna be like a translator or a nurse. I just think a nurse because I feel like everyone who's like a bully or like really mean ends up wanting to go into healthcare for some reason.
Really? You think so?
Like the meanest people are like, yeah, I want to be a nurse. Ooh, you want to be a nurse?
Well, I don't know
You
anyone in healthcare. Clearly you do. So I guess.
No, I mean, I don't. I really don't, but it's like it's a kind if you look up I know I have seen so many other people who are like, why are all the bullies nurses?
I've never heard of that, but that's
It's been a thing.
interesting.
People tell stories all the time where they're like, this girl who was extreme bully, who was mean to everyone, decided she wanted to go be a nurse. This impatient girl who was so annoyed with everyone wanted to be a nurse.
So maybe she's a nurse. Maybe we'll find out in the update.
Yeah.
My first thing, I thought she was like an influencer or something because
Mm.
she's very entitled. She thinks she's
I,
always
you know
right.
what I think is so funny is that she wanted to go to rural areas of Japan where they speak no English. You don't speak a lick of Japanese. Why? Or you can't read it, you can't speak it, you don't understand it. Why would you want to go? Like, if I went to Japan, if I went anywhere, I would probably want to be in the more touristy areas just because I know I would be someone there would be able to speak English or I would be able to read signs that are in English. And also, like, I have no problem going to touristy areas because that's like what they're for
Because you're a tourist.
because I'm a tourist. So, being an influencer totally would make sense because I feel like they always want to do random entitled shit.
Yeah, and she doesn't believe in itineraries, so I feel like she's like the type of girl that's like, Yeah, I'm just so spontaneous. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, I went on the spontaneous trip to Japan.
Isn't that just crazy, guys?
It's
Vlog.
irresponsible.
Yeah. So she had 6 months to prepare for this, and
Yeah.
she didn't add anything to their like shared itinerary. And now she's complaining about
The
the
whole
places that they're
time.
going.
My thing is if I would also be like reviewing it. Like if I was going on a trip with you and we were going somewhere and you created the itinerary and you were like, Adam, if you want to do something, let me know. I would be like, okay, what do you think we should do? Like I would go if you've been there before. In this case, it sounds like she's lived there for a bit.
Yeah, the OP she lived there and she just got back from living
Yeah.
there.
So she's very familiar with the area. So if you moved to like Poland and you came back and you and I went on a trip and you created an itinerary, I'd kind of just trust that you know where like the cool spots are, where it'd be fun to see, like the touristy areas that most people want to see or travel to, but you know like the ins and outs of how to navigate. So I would just kind of like listen to you.
That's generous because I don't trust myself with doing that because I also don't. I'm also really bad at planning and I would never make an itinerary going on a trip.
See,
And
my idea of making an itinerary is I just am like, okay, I want to see this, and I want to do this. How can I incorporate that? Like,
mhm.
how can I make sure that I see this, get to do this, experience this, and like do this? Like, I don't necessarily need to like have dates, but like if I'm going on a big trip, I can be like, okay, this day I kind of want to do this. Like, I'm going to be in this area, so we should stop and see this. Like
Mhm.
that's how I don't need to like be like at 9 a.m. we have to have already had breakfast, already ready for the day. 10 a.m. we're at our first attraction. 11 a.m. our next one. Like I don't believe in scheduling like that, but having
Yeah,
a like a
yeah.
rough draft of what to do and where to go and what to see is kind of all I need.
So they've known each other for a long time. So I'm curious if is this like a new behavior from her, or is this something that's like she
Well,
would have been able to see? Because like somebody just suddenly acting like this is like weird. But
yeah.
but also like trips, like vacations, like can bring out the absolute worst of
Yeah.
people. I feel like going on a trip with somebody is like a litmus test for how the rest of that friendship is gonna
I
go.
agree. I agree.
Because shit like this can happen, and yeah, I don't know what it is about being on like vacation, but
Well, I feel like it's like one, you're in an unfamiliar area. You're not home. You spent a lot of money, so you want to make sure you get the best out of it. And it's just kind of stressful.
oh yeah, oh, and you also have to be around somebody like
Yeah,
one person for like a long time,
exactly.
and that can be a lot.
Exactly. See, okay, so this is what it sounds like, and I could be incorrect. It sounds like her friend is from Mexico or has lived in Mexico. And OP said that she just got back from Japan. If they've been friends for just 5 years, there's a chance that they were friends just online, that they like,
Oh,
or that they became friends, they moved away and they stayed connected online.
oh, so like they haven't known each other for that long, like in person.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because just with
yeah,
like the
that is
context
possible.
that I'm getting of she's lived in Japan, she finally came back home, quote unquote home, makes it sound like they have not been around each other for a while. They may have been like friends online, but not like seeing each other in person.
Yeah. Oh, well, definitely because I mean it's at least been a while because
Yeah.
she said like because she said she lived in the Japan. If you're
Hmm.
saying you live somewhere, you've been there for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would think it's been a while. So it could just be that like maybe when they met, like she was different and they just haven't
Yeah.
seen each other in forever. And now she's like weird.
Hmm. Or like
Um,
the vacation just brought it out of her.
yeah.
Yeah. Front people can change. She probably changed and she's just a bitch on vacation.
Like she's literally saying to her face, "Yeah, I would have rather gone on this trip with like this person or this
Hmm.
person." I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like I'd be honored to go on a trip with someone who's lived there.
Yeah, like that's a
Yeah,
privilege.
it
Like you have
is.
a personal tour guide.
Exactly. So like I wouldn't be sitting there being like, yeah, I wish I went on this trip with this person who's never been here before and doesn't speak a lick of Japanese.
This doesn't make any
Yeah, it
sense.
would be like comforting to me to know that at least someone that I'm with understands and can like read like the language, can understand and speak the language. Like it would be very comforting because it's like, okay, if I'm in a situation where I don't speak any of their language and they don't speak any of mine, at least someone can communicate, you know?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Mhm.
But that's a huge thing. And like I feel like that would enhance a trip so
Mhm.
much. Like I
Mhm.
feel like that's why the trip I just went on was like the most fun I've ever had on a trip out of the country because like I have a friend that lives there and like we can hang out like with somebody that I know.
Yeah.
And that's just makes it so much better.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have some comments here. Someone said OP needs to get new friends, and how is the friend? And they responded, said, I told her off a day after we landed, then blocked her everywhere. Okay, so she's blocked. And we also got the ages. They said she's 28 and OP is 26. So she's the older one and she's still acting like this.
Oof.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, we have an update.
Update.
So she says, so I got a lot more responses and questions than I thought I would get on my last post. I figured I would share more about it for those who were interested. I also wanted to thank everyone who told me their own story of disaster trips. Some felt really relatable. Also, big thank you to those who asked me for Tokyo recommendations and those who said they would have been glad to have me as a guide. That made me really happy. I actually had 2 friendships that ended over that trip, and overall, I felt really taken advantage of and underappreciated. Thank you all for helping sort some of those feelings by sharing your thoughts. Of course, this was a huge lesson learned, and I'll do my best to move forward with more caution and maturity. A little more context to what I went through. Got mad. I told her no. I don't need her to hold my bag. Got mad. I told her I didn't want to walk 1 hour to our destination because she chose the route with 1 train and a 40-minute walk. I chose one with 3 transfers and a 10-minute walk. I said I put my compressions in my check-in on accident, and she replies, well, I'm smart and packed mine in my backpack. Told me she couldn't help with adding to the itinerary or join study sessions because she has had family issues she didn't want to tell anyone about and didn't understand how that doesn't give her a pass to complain the whole time. She would agree to leave an area but then make snarky comments about how she liked the previous area more. Blew up at me for being on the phone at dinner. I was navigating the whole time and we shared a hotel/bed. The only time I got to check in with my family is when we sat down to eat. Kept saying her family, who was tracking her, was asking why we're at a laundromat or why we're at a mall and not outside. Would compare me to friend A, like, oh, she would have understood my joke. Used my other friend problem I was having against me, saying she understands why my friend did what she did. Yapped about how she hates Selena Gomez for writing a song about her ex. And when I told her nearly every singer/songwriter does, she told me to list names. And so I listed people and she said no, but name male singers though. What?
What?
She thinks Selena Gomez wrote a song about her. Wow. Okay. Heard my favorite group, XG, play in Shibuya. And when I got excited, she goes, ew, only because they're a girl group.
What?
Acted like me making an itinerary meant that we couldn't walk into random shops along the way. Anytime we went somewhere spontaneously or didn't make a reservation, she would be like, see, this is how I travel. I just go with the flow because I do better under pressure. Anyways, so some people had mentioned how I didn't see any of this behavior prior to going on the trip. And I'll best be honest and say there were red flags in our relationship, which I saw, and I actually did distance myself from her. But after I moved to Japan and came back, I was in this weird position and really wanted to reconnect with my old friends and establish a support system again. So I decided to start fresh with her, which was obviously a mistake, and I got what I deserved. She started changing during the pandemic, in which her and friend A got really close as we were barely talking at the time. I talked to a mutual friend of ours recently, and we both suspect that friend A had a part in fueling her toxic behavior. We always knew her as a sort of mama bear that took care of everyone and is super well-mannered and self-righteous. Everyone IRL likes her and looks up to her, but as one commenter pointed out, those good qualities are actually a disguise. She needs to be in control, and once she is out of her element and not in control, she completely lost her cool and was actually very verbally abusive. Which brings me to the next answer to everyone's question. She is pursuing to be a detective or police officer.
Oh.
It's more fitting rather than ironic. She appears disciplined, morally superior, and dominant, but she's simply judgmental and controlling. And it's scary to think someone like her will have more power and influence. Oh, that sounds just about right for a cop.
Literally.
The next thing I want to address is people asking, why did she even want to go to Japan? I kind of think it's simple. I invited her and said, I know of good places and can take us around. I think a lot of people in my life want me to take them to Japan because it's easier to go with someone who knows how to travel there. She wasn't someone who ever dreamed of going to Japan, but the opportunity came up and she took it. She's more of a Korea boo, to be honest, but nevertheless, she was excited to go. She even started texting friend A on our trip saying that we were going to make it up to her and go to Kyoto next year and that I could join, even though she told me to my face, no offense, but I'm never traveling with you again.
Oh my God.
The last thing people are asking is what I said to her when I ended it. So when I got back to the States, basically I started blocking her on everything. I argued with her for 7 days and everything that came out of her mouth was a complaint or insult, so I had zero energy to go back and forth. I already know that nothing will change her mind or open her eyes. She texted me asking why she couldn't find my username anymore, and I said this: girl, no way we are friends anymore after the way you behaved all throughout the trip. Never in my life have I heard a grown adult complain that much and not know how to communicate without an attitude, gaslighting, and being condescending. You are ethocentric, extremely judgmental, and ableist. You say a lot of racist microaggressions and misogynistic things, and the fact that people can't even be honest with you or that you can't be honest with others is wild. You'd rather not hear the truth because honesty makes you feel bad. The entire time you talked about how you normally do things with your friends and family, and all it told me was that you're not very adaptable. But yeah, there was way too many unpleasant behavior and things said that showed your true colors, and I don't want any further involvement. Then I blocked her, but I got a new phone and saw that she read it. So that's that. I'm not hurt, but I'm really bummed about my trip to Japan being ruined.
Damn. She can take me. I'll go.
Yeah.
Please.
Something she glossed over at the beginning is that she said she also lost another friendship from this trip. So there was like another friend situation.
I'm wondering, yeah.
Because she did say she had a Japanese friend and they like went to her house or something. So maybe it was her. But this whole thing is just crazy.
The audacity to be mad at someone who planned a whole trip for you.
Yeah.
And complaining the entire time. Like it just, come on, just be happy. Be grateful that you're on a trip.
Yeah.
And if you are so like determined to do certain things, then put it on the itinerary.
Yeah.
Tell that to your friend.
Or go by yourself.
Exactly.
If you want to be spontaneous and do whatever you want, then go by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, damn. Jesus Christ. It doesn't surprise me at all that she wants to be a cop.
Literally.
she's a perfect fit.
Once she's not in control, she's a bitch. So right when someone's giving her attitude back or is not being compliant, I can see her just whipping out the gun and
she's like, "You're resisting. I felt you tense up. No. I felt you tense up. I had to take you down."
Yeah. Like I feel like she's definitely gonna be that kind of cop.
Like she's
excessive force.
Yeah, like she's gonna pull over a car, be like, "License and registration, please," and they start reaching for their license and registration, be like, "Whoa, you reaching for your gun?" And she like pulls out her gun.
Yeah, I can picture her. Exactly. That's exactly what she's gonna do.
Or she's gonna be like that cop. Have you seen that video of like the cop who like an acorn drops on the top of his car and he thinks it's a gunshot and he starts shooting. He's like, shots fired, and he starts barrel rolling. That's gonna be her.
Yeah.
So glad she got out of that friendship because that bitch is crazy, and hopefully
literally.
Hopefully she doesn't go to whatever jurisdiction of police department she works at. Maybe she works in American Fork, Utah.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to our final story, which comes from Best of Reddit Updates, originally posted to r/self. The title reads, I'm on vacation with my boyfriend of almost 6 years, and I've decided to break up with him. I love him so much. I live with him, but this trip was the straw that broke the camel's back, and when we get back home, I'm going to end it. I've always known he's had a temper, but him throwing little tantrums 3 times during this trip, it's only been 5 days, has been exhausting. I'm pretty even-tempered and slow to anger, but his anger is triggered by, in my eyes, seemingly everything. And when he's mad at something, he gives me the silent treatment. No communication, no telling me what's wrong, even if I ask kindly and try to attend to his needs, and he'll often just walk away from me, leaving me perplexed if I've done something to anger him. 95% of the time, I haven't done anything, but he'll get angry at me anyway and find some way to pin it on me for not being helpful. But it's a lose-lose. When I try to help, he ignores me and is cold to me. When I ask him how he wants to help, he has no response and gets annoyed. After getting the silent treatment for a while, I usually stop trying to help. This is when I become the bad guy for not helping him. This behavior is nothing new. He's always done this. But this trip has made me come to the realization that I can't depend on him to be there for me. I feel literally sick to my stomach with the anxiety of it all. Even when I'm weak with hunger, I can barely stomach a bite of food. I feel like I want to throw up constantly. This June would have been 6 years for us. We've built so much together. His family is like my family. His friends are my friends. But I don't think I could ever marry or raise a child with this person who abandons me on a whim and blames me for all the misfortunes in his life. When he's in a good mood, we're on cloud nine. I'm terrified of losing him. I'm terrified of what my life will become, but I'm having a hard time seeing a future with him. So many empty promises of I'll do better next time and I won't give you the silent treatment anymore. And I believe them every time until now. Now I know if nothing has changed in nearly 6 years, nothing will change in the next 6 or the next. His lack of empathy and victim mentality and unpredictable anger has finally got to me. Just 2 more days on this trip. I have to try and act normal, have a good time. I want to enjoy his company while he's in a good mood. I don't want to ruin his trip for him or the others we are traveling with. But once we're back home, I don't think I can do it anymore. Wow.
Damn.
So she's writing this while they're still on the trip.
So she's made up her mind.
She's made up her mind already.
Good for her, though.
And the first thing she had to do was tell Reddit about it.
Yes. We love to hear the juicy details.
Tell everything on Reddit. Well, maybe not everything.
Yeah, maybe keep a few things to yourself.
There's some questionable things on Reddit.
Yeah.
But she has a quick edit here. Thank you for all the responses. I appreciate all the support, everyone. I want to clarify a few things. I don't think he's a narcissist, and I don't think he's a bad guy. He genuinely loves me and cares about me, but he's not a great communicator and isn't super emotionally mature. A lot of people are commenting that he's an emotional manipulator. I can almost say for certain he doesn't lash out and love bomb in order to take advantage of me. He just simply doesn't know how to react to his emotions in a healthy way. I can attribute a lot of this to how he was raised, knowing his family and his parents. It may sound pretty black and white, like he's a horrible person in the post, as often happens on Reddit, but it is much more gray than that. I'm not perfect and he is not evil. It is also very possible he has ADHD, but he hasn't gotten diagnosed for it. Thank you all for who are concerned for me. I can promise I am safe.
See, I mean, I can see how she is like kind of defending him because yeah, she's right. People on Reddit immediately jump to like the worst of the worst. They can't see the gray. They only see black or white.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even if he's been like this the whole time you've been with him and he still hasn't changed, then yeah, he's never going to change.
Yeah, and she's already realized that. She said
Mhm.
6 years, 6 years of this, and it hasn't changed. It's going to be 6 more years and 6 more years,
Yeah.
and so on and so on.
But also, I live by this. His past and the way he grew up explains why he is the way he is, but it does not excuse.
Yeah, it's not
it.
an excuse. It's an explanation, but it's not an excuse.
Yeah, you
no.
can't like. I feel like I fall into that a lot, where like I can always see the explanation of why someone is the way they are, but I'm a very firm believer that you can't use that as like an excuse.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's probably not the worst person in the world, but I mean, this behavior is just not acceptable. You have to change eventually. Like, you have to work on yourself. And clearly, in 6 years, he hasn't made any move to work on himself. And that's not something you can make someone do. They have to want to fix themselves and work on it.
Yeah, you can only help them if they are willing to help themselves,
Mhm.
and if they're not, then you got to decide. Well, is this something that I want in my life, or is it not?
Yeah. So I'm glad at least that she was able to recognize that, yeah, she is going to do better without him.
Yeah, and like I do kind of feel a little bit bad for the guy because like everyone's commenting he's an emotional manipulator because he
Mhm.
he does this. And like I do get what she's saying of like, well, I know he's not doing it on purpose because he probably isn't. And I can understand doing something that might be like kind of emotionally manipulative, and then later being like, oh, that was kind of or then somebody tells you that was kind of manipulative that you did that. And you're like, oh, yeah, it was, but you don't
Mhm.
realize in the moment that you're doing it. So I kind of understand it because I like
Yeah.
I
But, like, it's not like that he's thrown, like, mini fits and tantrums, is what she said. On this, what was it, 5-day trip
yes. Yep.
that he's already thrown, like, 3 of them.
Yes.
So it's like, there comes a point, though, where you kinda if you can recognize that you were being, like, emotionally, manipulative, you kinda have to eventually if you can realize that, then you know you have to work on yourself.
Yeah, and after
And
6 years,
yeah.
that's
And making
yeah.
all these false promises of I'll get better, I'll stop doing that, I won't do it again, and then not getting better. You kind of have to get better
Yeah,
eventually.
he doesn't wanna, like, face it and, like,
Mhm.
actually work on his problems because that's more work than
Yeah.
just ignoring
And
it.
and a lot of times people sadly, they kind of need to hit rock bottom before they will get the help. Honestly, her breaking up with him could be the push that he needs to realize that he needs to fix himself. That or it'll just make it worse. But it's not her fault. It's not her problem at all if that's what happens. If he can get better, he can get better. If he can't, he can't. And that's on him at the end of the day.
Yeah, and, like, it doesn't say how old they are, does it? No.
I don't think so.
It doesn't, but I mean, if they're like younger, if they're in their like, early 20s, if they were in their early 20s and they've been together for 6 years. Well, anyways, if they're like younger, I feel like this is one of those things where it's like he needs to work on himself before
Hmm.
he's ready for something like this. And maybe a few years down the line he works on himself and maybe he can get back together.
Yeah.
Like, but if they're older or whatever, he's probably never gonna change.
No, no. What a way though on vacation to like come to that realization.
Yeah, on vacation.
Like you're supposed to be relaxed, having a nice time, and you're sitting there with the secret of when we get home, I'm packing my bags and leaving.
Yeah, she's thinking about how am I gonna break up with him when we get back home?
Yeah.
That's all she's
Yeah.
thinking about.
She's like, wow, that's a nice beach right there. Damn, how am I gonna tell him? How am I
Yeah.
gonna tell him that I think we should break up? Also, it's probably hard for her too, because it sounds like she does really care for him.
Yeah, and that's why it's hard to let go of that when you really do like love and care for someone, even if you know what the better option is for you.
Yeah. Hmm. No personal experiences here, you know?
Listen, that's why I say I can sympathize with this guy a little bit
Yeah.
because I did kind of do a little bit of what he did. Like, just not for 6 years though.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. In this story, it's 6 years. Yours was like 6 days.
But I get it. I didn't realize that I was doing that I didn't realize I was like kind of being manipulative at the
But
time.
but now you can look back and know. And what will we do next time, Julian?
Not do that.
We'll learn from our mistakes. I think you need to really, really reevaluate yourself.
All right, so we got an update for this one from 2 days later. So, they say, I did it. I told him he pushed me one time too far and that I cannot do it anymore. It was heartbreaking. A lot of tears were shed. He was shocked but very apologetic and he begged for one more chance. He promised change, but I told him that I don't want to spend the rest of my life with the man he is today. I said that if he enacted change, maybe down the line we could make it work. But as of right now, I can't trust his promises and I have to take care of myself and my own heart and take some space. I don't want to be given the silent treatment and I don't want to walk on eggshells anymore. Well, he was devastated and said he would do anything to keep me. He was also very understanding and kind. He wants me to take care of myself too, and he will respect my decision and work on himself. He's looking into therapy/counseling/anger management options. He said he'll work on communication and emotional regulation so he can treat his friends and family better and hopefully win me back someday. I'm currently staying with his parents while he takes the time to gather his things and move out. I'm heartbroken and scared, but I know I made the right decision for me. Some people were commenting that we just needed to communicate and talk through this. I've tried. I'm super big on addressing problems and conflicts and talking them out, but he didn't grow up that way. After every single conflict in his past, I always sat down with him and he told me exactly how I was feeling and why. I would ask him to explain his feelings and his side as well. Like I said, he didn't grow up being the best communicator. Trying to talk through the problems to no avail is one of the reasons I had been pushed so far away. Some commenters also mentioned an ultimatum. I heavily considered this, but I am so conditioned to cater to him and walk on eggshells around him that I decided the best way to take care of myself is to be away from him. Alone. I don't have to think about anyone else's needs but my own, my dog. For the first time in a while, I'm going to do what I want, go where I want, eat where I want, and be as spontaneous or not as I want. Nobody to watch me, nobody else's plans to consider. Now, I know sharing those moments is part of the beauty of relationships and marriage, but I think rather than being free to make my decisions and share them, I had been conditioned to make sure he wouldn't get mad at my decision before committing to it. I love saying yes to plans, but with him, I became non-committal to plans with family and friends just in case. It's time for me to take my life back and simply do what I want to do. Thank you, Reddit strangers, to all the people who supported my decision and gave me the strength to follow through. It was so hard, but I remembered all your encouragement and support and reassurance. Thank you to all the people who were on my boyfriend's side of things and gave your perspectives. You were all so kind and helped me understand his point of view. It is hard, but there is hope for him to grow and truly change for the better. If not for us, then for his own happiness and peace.
That's like the nicest update I feel like we've had in a while.
Yeah, that's she's so positive for just breaking up a relationship of 6 years.
And she's also that emotionally intelligent to know that all the suggestions that Redditors gave her were like to keep them together was just not going to work, and that she's already tried, you know?
Yeah, I've never seen someone be that nice to the people in the comments that were on the other person's side.
I know.
I thought I was saying it wrong at first because I'm like, there's no way she's being that nice to them.
Yeah. Well, because like Redditors don't know how to be respectful.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So maybe she just got lucky and those people were not on her side, were defending or kind of explaining the boyfriend's side, but were surprisingly respectful about it.
Yeah. It also sounds like if he actually does what he says he's going to do, it seems like he might actually be able to turn it around.
Yeah.
And hopefully he does, because even if they don't end up getting back together, that's still going to be better for him.
Exactly.
And whoever he dates next. And it also seems like the guy was like holding her down a lot because she's like, now I can go where I want and eat what I want. And I'm like, you couldn't eat what you wanted to eat before? Yeah. Like how much was he like holding you down?
He's probably like, I don't like McDonald's and would throw a fit if she wanted it. Things like that.
We'll throw a temper tantrum if we go to McDonald's. But hopefully he can get the help that he needs. He can turn it around. Maybe they'll get back together. Maybe they won't.
Who knows? We don't know.
We don't know. Do you know?
Now's your time. Now's your time. We're listening. I'm going to give you the silent treatment now.
That's actually like so, like, I can't imagine a grown man being like, I'm not talking to you.
I don't want these McDonald's chicken nuggets. I wanted Burger King.
I can't imagine a grown man doing that. That's insane. Even I don't do that. That's saying something. So that's our crazy vacations episode. Some very wild vacation stories on Reddit. What do you think was the best one today?
I think the most crazy one was the girl who got kicked off the rich family's trip. Yeah. But also the Japan one was up there.
Yeah.
For entitlement.
Yeah, because she had that update that had just even more and more stuff that she kept doing, and I'm just insane.
No, thank you.
So, yeah. Tell us in the comments down below what you think your favorite one was. and I'll respond to it and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Because there's clearly a right and wrong answer there.
I agree with that.
So anyways, guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you have any other topics you'd like us to do on the show, let us know down below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.